donkey. This is a donkey. Two barbels and a carp. Big as what I thought. bad cast, but never mind.
in the bottom of my neck.
Yeah, I've got.
Section.
What have I got now?
65.
You want over 26 in this one?
I don't think I've got it in this one.
Nick, D8.
I'm being honest.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? 4 ounces.
Unbelievable.
That is, isn't it? That is incredible.
Right, day 4 of the Whiteacres Frenzee Festival on POLLAWYN. I love POLLAWYN. Look, it's always peggy. There's always better pegs you want to be on, but I just enjoy the lake. It's quite rewarding. There's times where you sit there not catching anything, and then all of a sudden you end up catching a few fish in the last hour, and go from nowhere to getting good points. And on the day, I drew 27, which is a fantastic peg. It's the peg that I needed, really. You know, I've got 3 section wins under my belt. It's just a great area, good peg, loads of form. Harry Billing was second in his section off that peg, off 27 yesterday, with £74, and he's caught shallow with the meat. So that was my plan. My plan was a little bit of everything. Fish a really short line on a top kit in one section in like 5 foot of water, feeding 8mm meat for barbel, the odd barbel. Bottom of the near side shelf, which is at 6 metres, 13 metres, and bomb and meat up to the island, and also maybe a little bit bomb and bread to start off with, and if the wind's right, the waggler as well. So I wanted to cover my options, set up quite a few things, because there's times where you spend a lot of the time at POLLAWYN not catching, and it gives you the chance to swap and change and maybe just nick 1 or 2 fish with a particular method, whether it's chucking a waggler out for 10 minutes, getting a couple of fish. You seem to have to rotate quite a lot. And then obviously the last hour, usually you'll find a line, whether it's a short line or down the margins or the waggler or the bomb, that is stronger. And that's how my day went, really. I started the match with bomb and bread, and I had 1 fish on the bomb and bread. And then I fished bomb and meat over the same line, and I had 1 decent carp and 3 or 4 barbel. But then the winds really picked up and blowing through the gap, which made fishing the long pole quite difficult. I've gone on the deck at 6 metres, and I've not had a single bite, so I've then started loose feeding meat with the intentions to catch shallow. And that's how I've caught, I'd say, the majority of my fish. I've fished between 2 and 4 foot deep, not forgetting it's like 9 foot deep, I'd say, at 6 metres. So I've fished shallow on that particular line, just loose feeding 6mm meat, and I've caught quite a few skimmers with 4 carp mixed in, and that's kind of like put me through for at least 2 hours of the match. I've had 4 barbel on my short line on a top kit in like 1 section, or maybe a top kit in half a section in 5 foot of water, right in front of me with 8mm meat. And then with 40 minutes to go, the winds died, and I've chucked the waggler out, and I've had 2 carp on the waggler. And now it's getting to the crunch time. There's half an hour left. I've had 2 carp on the waggler. I can't catch shallow, can't get a bite shallow. I've even gone on like further out on the longer pole, just like past where I've been feeding by hand. Still couldn't catch. Dropped back on my short line, couldn't catch. And I've just decided to big pot it down the edge. It works so many times. It's worked for me so many times on POLLAWYN. No matter what peg I've been on, I've always seemed to have at least managed to get 1 edge fish in the closing stages of the match. So that's what I did. I loose fed some meat initially, and then when I decided to actually go on it, I put a couple of big pots of ground bait out, dynamite, green swim stim, marine halibut down the edge. The pegs are quite tight, so I could only literally fish a top kit right against the boards, and I've put 2 pots of ground bait out, left it 10 minutes, and then before I've gone on it, I've put another pot of ground bait out, gone on it, not had a bite, gone back on the waggler, not a bite. And Tom Arnott's in my section, he's on 18, he's catching quite steady on the waggler. That's all he's done, he's just gone with the intention to catch on the waggler, and he's putting the odd fish in the net. And it's come to the last couple of minutes of the match now, and I've just decided I've got to try and catch one down the edge. Rotated all my lines, still not put a fish in the net, so I've put another pot of ground bait out down the edge, gone on it, and with literally a minute to go, it's gone under, and I've hooked this fish, got it out, and it was a 10-pound fish, and I've landed it just after the whistle. When the whistle's gone, I've turned around and Tom Arnott's playing a fish on the waggler. And sometimes you know when you're being beat, and I just knew that was going to cost me. He's landed the fish, so it's come to the weigh-in, and I've had 91 pound 2 ounce, and Tom Arnott has had 91 pound 6 ounce, so he's done me by 4 ounces, has won the section. I was gutted, I'll be honest with you, absolutely gutted. when it's that close, it's so frustrating. But looking back, you know, I've not lost a single fish. What else could I have done, kind of thing? And it just shows how close fishing can be sometimes, because I've landed a fish nearly on the whistle. Tom Arnott's landed one after time, and the bloke opposite me on peg 20, he's landed one after time. Tom Arnott's had 91.6, I've had 91.2, and the bloke that's landed a fish on the waggler after time on peg 20 has had £90 15 ounce. So less than a pound has separated the top three in the section. So in a way, I was lucky that I got away with landed that fish just before the end of the match. That's got me second in section. So all to play for now, really. I mean, I've got second in section, but I've still got a chance now. And we're on Twin Oaks and Trelawney tomorrow, so hopefully a good draw on the cards, and I might have a chance.